Okay, hello everyone. Okay, so the next program in chapter 3 is Roman numerals. All right, so write a program that prompts the user to enter a number within the range of 1 through 10. The program should display the Roman numeral version of that number. If the number is outside the range of 1 through 10, the program should display an error message. The following table shows the Roman numerals for the numbers 1 through 10. Okay, so the program is going to ask the user to enter a number from 1 to 10. So from the range of 1 all the way through to 10. So if the user, let's say, enters 5, the program should display V. If the user enters, let's say, 2, the program should display II. So we're going to write an if statement, basically if elif else statement to take care of these. And if the number that the user types is outside a range of 1 through 10, we should display an error message. Okay, so let's start. So first, the program says we should prompt the user to enter a number. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm going to use the input function to ask the user to enter a number. All right, so we're going to say input function, please enter a number. Now, anything that the input function returns is going to be returned as a string. So if the user, let's say, and input function, by the way, is going to allow the user to enter a number, and it's going to take that input and return it. And anytime or anything that the input function returns, is returned as a string. So, but the thing is, if it returns the number that the user types as a string, we can't really use it in calculations, or we can't use it to test and really evaluate it for this question, for example. So in order to use that number as a number, or use the input the user types as a number, we have to go ahead and convert it to a number. So in this case, we're going to convert it to an integer because we're allowing the user to enter an integer. So in order to convert what the user has typed into a number so we can use it, I'm going to go ahead and call the int function and surround everything that the user has typed with parentheses. So I'm calling the int function and I'm surrounding everything that the user has typed here, or what the input function is returning, or everything that what the input function is returning. I'm converting it to an integer. And once we convert it to an integer, we need a place to store it. So I'm going to create a variable and I'm going to call it user number. And user number is going to store the number that the user typed converted to an integer. Okay, so now we have the user number. We can go ahead and test on it to see if it's any of these numbers so that we can display the equivalent Roman numeral. So I'm going to go ahead and start an if statement and say if the user number is equal to, okay, double equals is a comparison operator, and one equal is an assignment operator. One equal will assign what's on the right to what's on the left, but double equal sign is going to compare. It's not going to change the values of any of the variables. It's just going to compare to see if the one on the left is equal to the one on the right. Okay, so if user number is equal to 1, okay, then let's go ahead and print I. Let's go ahead and print I, the way it is here. All right, so now what if user number is not equal to 1? Let's go ahead and test to see if user number is equal to 2. So we're going to call the elif, I'm sorry, not else if, elif statement or clause, and say elif user number is equal to 2, then go ahead and print II. Okay, so it's basically the same thing. We are going to test all the way to 10. So I'm going to go ahead and copy this and then start just printing them. So elif user number is 3 and print III. I'm just going to print it a couple more times. 1, 2, oops. Okay, so IV, if it's 4, then let's print IV. If it's 5, then let's print V. If it's 6, then let's print VI. If it's 7, VII. 8, VIII. 9 is going to be X. 9 is going to be IX, not X. And then finally 10. It's going to be X. Okay, so if any of these, for example, if the number is any of these numbers, it's going to display the equivalent. It's going to print the equivalent Roman numeral. Now, what if the number is not any of these numbers? If the user types in something else, then the program says we should display an error message. So I'm going to type the else clause, okay, and basically print an error message. I'm going to type the error message very soon. Print an error message if the user number is none of these numbers. Okay, so else means that if none of these are true, if none of these are true, if the number is not any of these, then go ahead and print this error message saying error. Just say error. Please enter a number between 1 and 10. Say restart program or something. Just go ahead and copy it here rather. Oops. Control. Okay, so let's go ahead and just cut that. Please restart program and enter. Please restart the program and enter a number between 1 and 10. Okay, so now I don't want to exceed this line here. This line here is like a guideline for me, so that I try to keep 80 characters on a line. That's like a Python thing. Okay, so I'm trying to keep 80 characters on a line, so I'm going to go ahead and break this string here. And anytime you break a string, okay, let me undo this. Anytime you break a string onto another line, you have to type in the backslash. So I'm first going to close the string here and open start the string here. In between them, I'm going to type in the plus sign, and before I break it to the next line, I type in the backslash and hit enter. So before you break it to the next line, you type in a backslash and you hit enter. Okay, so now I've broken into the next line. All right, so if else, then prints this error message. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this and debug it. So I'm going to save this file in the folder that I keep all the Python files. My computer is a bit slow. Sorry about that. Okay, so it's on the desktop. And I'm going to create a folder for this one. I'll call it Roman numerals. And I'll call this Roman numerals.py. Okay, save it. Let me just put a colon here, a space, just to keep it nice. All right, so I'll debug it again. Please enter a number. I'm going to enter 5, and I'm expecting to see V. So 5, and it says V. Let me just put like a line break here before the outputs. Let me just put a line break. Sorry. Before the output, let me just put a line break. So I'm going to just I'm just going to call the print statement here. I'm going to call the print statement with nothing in it. And what this is going to do is it's just going to print a new line, because remember, anytime you type in, you print something, by default it ends with a new line. But this time around I'm printing nothing, so only the new line is just going to be printed. Alright, so I'm just going to debug this again and type in 5 again and expect to see V, but on a new line. And I just keep trying other numbers. I'll try 2. Oops, I typed in 2 somewhere. I don't know. I type in 2 here, and it says II. Try a couple more numbers. 6. Oops, I think I'm typing it. Yeah, I typed it here. 6 here, and it says VI. Try 10 and X. Now let me try a number outside the range of 1 to 10. I'm going to try -1. Error. Please restart the program and enter a number between 1 and 10. Put a space here. Okay, so let's try 20. It says error. Please restart the program and enter a number between 1 and 10. And when I type in something like, let's say 8, I get VIII. Okay, so the program works, and yeah, if you have any questions, please comments down below, and I'll do everything to respond to the questions. And thank you very much for watching. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time with the next program. Bye bye.